Hi everyone, welcome to yet another video by Timing Trades. And in this video I'm going to talk about orbits and how they are used in astrology, right? So there's a small key that Cefario made, which was called the master key, and in the same part it talks about capsule indications here, capsule indications. And it says, it is found that the capsule indications are the strongest positions, and any planet that is on or near the caps is capable of figuring in the result of a race. Hence, they are called indications. But inasmuch as events are usually decided 1 minute after the time for which they are set, a planet that is applying to a caps, right? A planet that is applying to the caps and within 5 degrees rather, within 5 degrees of these caps, right, has more to do with the result than one which is on the caps at the set time, right? So I'll highlight this. So this is my point. So he was talking about racing, figuring out racing games and all that stuff, but the most important part that he brings out here is that a planet that is within 5 degrees in applying to any significant position, or should I say location in the zodiac, critical degree, if I was putting that sense. If it's within 5 degrees, it is able to influence that particular result of whatever it is that you're trying to assess. So let me show how this applies to markets, right? So if you go to Astrolog, I'm having Astrolog 7.3. Of course, there are other versions, but when you go to settings in Astrolog, right, and then in settings there's part called aspect settings. So in aspect settings, the orbits, if you've noticed, are 5 degrees. So that's the maximum. So in short, it's about 5 degrees and 59 minutes. So you just have to put just 5 degrees. So any planet that's within 5 degrees of orbit is likely to influence. That's the maximum that we can go in terms of looking at which possible planet can affect a particular market or anything like that. So if I was go to chart, and then there's a part called aspect list, you will notice that the orbs rather, are here, right? So you find that the max, you will see that most of them are within 5 degrees max, whether them being positive or applying or separating, as one would put it, or yes. So whatever case it is, the issue is that they just have to be 5 degrees max. Yeah. So this is one detail of why orbits, my original settings in terms of Astrolog, the orbits are always in 5 degrees, because we have been told that it's only when planets are applying within 5 degrees to any critical degree or a critical point in the zodiac that planets do influence. So it's selecting an aspect within those planets that are within 5 degrees that we are able to single out which exact planet and its aspect is going to influence that particular day of the market, or that's going to influence any person any particular time. Yeah, so always remember that quite right. The keys, the Arcana or stock and share key, quite right, had some details, but he didn't quite specify within the book how much of allowance we should give. However, in the master key, one of his small booklets that he gave, which had to do with racing games, he didn't indicate how much caps, how much degrees or allowance we should be able to give any planet to influence that particular market or particular thing that we're analyzing. So it's 5 degrees maximum, and this 5 degrees maximum is basically our orbs or orbits. It doesn't matter whether they're positive or negative. The only key that we need to remember is that they have to just be 5 degrees. And for our case, we only look at the ones that are negative. Those are the ones that we'll select from. So always remember that the orbs are 5 degrees. So any planet or aspect that we're looking at. So here there are about 35 aspects between planets and other planets. So of these, we should always remember that they have to be applying within 5 degrees orbs, right? So these are the ones that influence. However, if you change the settings to more than 5, it will still apply. But remember that the other aspects that are beyond 5 degrees and 59 minutes are irrelevant to affecting that particular market. So always remember that, always remember the orbs allowance that we give any planet to influence any particular market is 5 degrees 59 seconds. So just put 5 degrees there as your orb setting. So under aspect, you put your orbs to be 5, right? So once you put 5 degrees orbs, then you're good to go. You're good to go. So that's it about orbs and why we put 5 degrees allowance for orbs, because in the master key he did emphasize the fact that they had to be within 5 degrees. So they might be 0 degrees or exact to 5 degrees. So between 0 and 5 degrees allowance, is 5 degrees is the maximum that we allow for any aspect to be in full control of any particular market. So 5 degrees is basically our orb setting, which is supposed to be 5 degrees, yes, and there you have it. So that 5 degrees wasn't just dreamt, it was in one of Sifario's small little books called the Master Key. And yeah, so always remember that 5 degrees is how much allowance we give any aspect before we are able to judge which of those aspects that are within 5 degrees that we should be able to note as a controlling aspect on that particular day or of that particular event. So 5 degrees, 5 degrees, 5 degrees. Always remember that's the marks that we give to capsules.